Hello, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So today I decided to put a video out there because I don't see that many videos on the rear suspension on the Audi C7.5 or, any Audi that has that same control arm on the rear, the one that looks like a letter K. Um, so basically, right now I started with putting the car in the battery charger. It's a little trickle charger, which actually works. It's they sell it over at Walmart for like 40-50 bucks or something like that. So it's worth it. So what we do is then we go around and we go over to the driver's side. And on the driver's side of the car, you go inside here and then you go over to a VCDS or OBD11, whatever you have, and then you just put the put it on brake service mode. Once you have it on brake service mode, you have to go ahead and go over here. I already have everything off and stuff like that. I'm just gonna explain you the steps I took to make it easier on you. But right here, and if you can see it well, there's the whole entire rear. So what happens is that you have this control arm on the top putting pressure. Then you got this one on the side also putting pressure, but more like backwards pressure. And this one is more like a outward pressure, because this is the camber one. And then the bottom one over here is just, I don't know, this thing is just ridiculous. That is actually the toughest control arm I've ever replaced. So as you can see, there's like bolts over here and stuff like that. Those ones you don't have to loosen when you're doing the wheel bearing alone. But yeah, so then you go ahead and I went ahead and I took the caliper off, and then the rotor I took off as well. Once I took off the rotor, I went ahead and took the sensor off, and just pretty much with the tension that this has over here, it doesn't really matter. But without like taking these off, before taking these off, you want to go ahead and loosen these. This one is H19, so this guy right here. And no, you do not use an impact on this. Never use an impact. You use muscle, because if you use an impact, you're literally asking for trouble. You don't want that. So the reason I have it on is because there's gear oil in there, and you don't want that to come out. So you wanna leave it. You wanna leave it as much as possible there, so it doesn't leak out. Just enough that it doesn't leak. So once you do that, then you want to take this off, the bottom one. Take both just this side off, and then the whole bolt comes out, which is a massive bolt right here. So this bolt is it was 16. This one was actually a triple square 16. So once that happens, over here there's this bar. As you can see, I whacked the hell out of it when I changed this control arm. That's what helped me put it back. But if this comes out, you're gonna have a very long day. But because this bushing over here, one of the guys over at C7 owners, it helped me to understand that this one has to be compressed, this bushing over here on the side, to be able to put this on. So not to scare you or anything, but just letting you know that what would happen if you take this out the full way. So you just move it enough. I moved it enough, like over here, like about to let's see if you can see, but boy, it's kind of hard to see. But I moved it enough, just that it's like over a little bit under the hole, that I can see the hole over here for the other part of the housing. and then I did the same on the other side as well, so I can get enough clearance to be able to reach these torts. I mean, sorry, not torts, but triple square nuts over here on the back. So there's two, and then the top ones are fairly easy. Those ones, you know, you can just go ahead and just take out, no problem. But once that's out, then you just take everything out, and pretty much this is the result I got, which you know, it's a bearing that's actually going bad. After a certain mile an hour, it was around 65 plus for me. It started kind of like making a little like vibrating sound, like very quick sound, like when you go to those tarmac highway roads with a lot of lines, you know, like yeah, it was making those sounds, and it was vibrating quite a bit from the rear right of the vehicle. So you can pretty much tell that there's something wrong over there. So then I see it like this, and this is not how it's supposed to be. Obviously, you know, it's all contaminated, and God knows, you know, what else is wrong in there. But you know, the bearing itself does not actually like move at all or anything, but I can hear a little bit the bearings moving, kind of like the little ball bearings. So this is the new replacement. And yeah, this one you just want to like grease up over here on the bore, but like on the outside bore, so it can make it easier to if we're later on to be able to change it again in case if the bearing is defective or whatever. But yeah, you know, it is a tedious job. Take your time, please take your time, and just always have a second person with you if you can. Me, I'm just experienced. I've been doing this for so long that I am not surprised or about anything at all. So pretty much just always have your car on jack stands as well, you know, just to prevent you know, like to prevent any accidents. And this I use over here to be able to lift up a little bit, you know, just to kind of angle it so I can get enough angle to be able to take those bolts on the bottom off. So that's just my video. I know it's not as detailed as I really want, but you know, I'm just gonna let you know that this right passenger side rear for the lower control arm, aka the letter K, or whatever the hell I want to call it, it is actually the toughest suspension component that I have ever replaced on this vehicle. And so basically, you just it is expensive. It's $185, or like, you know, if you get like the doorman one. But if you get like the OEM one, it's like around, you're talking about $400 or $500 easy, which I went OEM for mine as well. To the other side, for the driver's side. The driver's side, I do not recommend doing yourself. Don't do the driver's side yourself. Reason why, let me see if I can show you here. There's that, I don't know if you can see, but there's this little thing over here. It's like a actuator, some kind of like sensor or whatever. That one requires actually for somebody to like in a shop to go ahead and do an axle alignment, which is something that has to be done with specific components and other software and whatever. I think I'm more than likely a Otis type of thing. I have no idea, but I'm not gonna try it myself. You know I can do it, but I just don't want to mess up, and especially that little actuator, which looks very fragile, if you know what I mean. So, but the rear right lower control arm, that one anybody can replace. So yeah, pretty much that would be it. You know, you can replace anything else except just that K on the bottom, on the bottom left rear of the vehicle. But thank you for watching, and I hope this helps a little bit. If you have any questions, just please feel free to ask me. If anything, I will try my best and do another video with more details on what I did to replace that control arm, but I mainly followed Alldata, and that's where I got all my information from, you know, since I'm a member from the Alldata for years now. But yeah, that's I hope it helps. Y'all have a great day, and thanks for watching.